Technically, yes, I did. Okay, so eventful weekend. If you live in New York, or even I think the site is like nationwide, but like a lot of things happen in New York. It's called 1 Iota, and they were giving out like VMA pit passes, red carpet passes, all this stuff. And I put in for everything, and the only one I got was the Katy Perry performance. So I was like, I might as well just go, because when am I going to have the opportunity to like go to the VMAs, you know? I might as well do it while I can instead of just sitting at home watching it. So I dragged my sister and we go to Brooklyn. Last time I went to Brooklyn, I was in the super Sketchballs area. So I was like a little hesitant to go back, but this place was like right over the Brooklyn Bridge, like literally right under the Brooklyn Bridge. So it was like a really cute area. There was a bunch of people around, so I wasn't gonna get like mugged. So we get in this huge line, and then we're waiting, talking about the people in line, and then some guy just comes out of nowhere. He's like, "Can I just pretend to be with you and cut off this whole line?" And I was okay with it because I don't care. And he like asked nicely. He wasn't just like, you know. So I was like, I don't mind as long as the girls behind doesn't mind. So I was like, I don't mind unless they don't mind. They're like cool with it. So like that guy came in, and then we're waiting, and we hear this like group of girls coming up complaining to one of the girls who worked there, and she's like, "I had priority. I'm not staying in this whole line. I could be at after party right now," and blah 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 blah. And just thinking like, oh, none of us came with priority and have to wait in line. Like we're all gonna get in there. But like, if you have things you could do that are better than this, why aren't you at them? We heard her bitching and moaning, and we never saw her like cut the line. We were like, really? And if you want something, I wouldn't bitch about it, you know? Maybe she asked nicely. Like if she had asked us to cut in line like the guy did and was just totally cool about it, I would have said yes. But she was just being like a mega bitch about it. We cut off. We had priority. I didn't even know that was a thing. So we cut off and get in, and then we're waiting in another line. And it's like this old abandoned warehouse. It was really cool, and apparently they have like kick-ass parties there, and I've always wanted to go to a warehouse party, so I'm definitely gonna like look that up. Get into the warehouse, and then they check our bags and your ticket, and then then they had free Pepsi because it was sponsored by Pepsi. So I was all about that shit. I was so thirsty. I was like, I'm just happy to have something to drink rather than see Katy Perry. So they had us wait there for like an hour and a half, which was like ridiculous, because why didn't you just let us in? I don't know. Angers me. But we did meet this cool guy. Like him and his friends were behind me and my sister, and like he started talking to us, and we were like, okay, first of all, he was like really cute, and he was funny, and he was talking to us. People never talk to me. I was like, Courtney, you should take like a creepy picture of him because I'm weird. And she's like, okay. So she gets her camera out, and the flash was on. What a fucking amateur. Thank God I had some quick thinking, because him and his friends all were like, whoa, what are you doing? And they were handing out free Pepsi. So like people behind them, this girl had like 8 Pepsis she was holding. So thank God for my quick thinking. I was like, oh, we're just trying to get a picture of that girl with all the Pepsis. And they were like, oh, okay. So thank God for that girl, because if she wasn't there, I wouldn't have had an excuse. Right after the pen we were in, there was literally one door. There's like 1,000 people at a door. And I always think of all those like trampling scenes and how people die and shit. And that's basically what it was. We were just like herded in through the door. I was grabbing onto my sister. I grabbed onto some girl I don't know, but I was like, she's my leverage. And I just grabbed in on her. But the second we crossed the threshold of that little opening, everyone had like thrown all their Pepsi and water on the ground, so it was just like wet and bottles everywhere. It was just like chaos. And we were just herded into another line. But this one actually snaked. But it was still like, why couldn't we have just, you know, you get your bag checked, get your Pepsi, and then you feed into that line. That would have been really smart, 1 Iota. The guy, I'm gonna call him Gilly because he looks like my cousin Billy, but we're gonna call him Gilly. He lost his friends. So he was like with me and my sister, and then like he kind of found his friends, but he stayed with us anyways, which was kind of weird. And I'm realizing now in hindsight, we had so many other opportunities to take creepy pictures. Like why didn't we just try again and just make sure the flash was off? And we never got his name, and I'm really mad. So anyways, we're feeding through this thing. We met a couple other really cool people, and then finally there's like, you get through the lines like a line at Disney, and the whole time the Gilly was like, I wish I just had fucking stilts. Like, how funny would it be if you just walked up in stilts so you can get over the crowd? So finally we were just let up. It's a park under the Brooklyn Bridge. I don't know what it's called, but we're like let up, and it's like a beautiful park, really lit up for Katy Perry's performance. There's one bridge over here, there's the Brooklyn Bridge right here. It was like really pretty. And there's her stage, and she had her, what are tiger heads, whatever her thing is. And her stage was like a boxing ring. So then Gilly, we're all standing there, and he's like, there's an open like pasture over here. He's like, let's go. So like we went over there, and then that's when we kind of parted ways. I kind of like saw him out of the corner of my eye, but like that's where we left Gilly. So yeah, then Katy Perry came out. She did her song twice, so they can get all the angles and stuff. And maybe the first one was a rehearsal. I don't know. But yeah, she was really good. We had a lot of fun. And yeah, it was like a cool Sunday night activity. It's always an adventure with me and Courtney. On the way back, we were supposed to get on, we were in Brooklyn, so a train to Manhattan. We get on a subway, because we saw the other girls, we were just kind of walking the street, we're like, how do you get back to Manhattan? She's like, and they're like, oh, we're going there, so just come with us. So we followed them, but I guess we followed them on the wrong train, because we get on the A train, and then at one of the stops, they get off. And then we asked, like, another stop, we're like, and I wasn't seeing any of the stops we saw on the way in. So I asked this girl, I'm like, are we going further into Brooklyn? She's like, yeah. So me and Courtney get out, and then we're in, like, bumblefuck Brooklyn, and we saw a cop. We're like, how do we get up, like, back to Manhattan? He's like, you're gonna have to go up, cross the street, and get on the other side. We get up onto street level, and even, like, the sketchiest people, even the murderers were like, you need to go that way. Like, the cops were laughing at us. Like, it was bad. Because we were like, what? So then, you know, we finally get home. We also spent like $40 at Shake Shack. Fat girl problems. If the whole line thing wasn't as weird, like if they just done it more cleanly, I would say I had like 100% good time. So I had a great time, One Iota, thank you. But I would just say for the next time, keep your line less clusterfucky. But yeah, so I kinda went to the VMAs. Kinda. And if anyone knows Gilly, if you're watching this, please contact me. Gilly.